All right, let's get started. I'm gonna raise my desk for a sec. Going on, Rex, native. Nothing too exciting today. We had the Fed minutes happen at 2 o'clock. It's about an hour ago. Obviously, had a little bit of chop on that Fed minutes, but since then, basically just balancing out. Pretty much kind of like what we talked about on Monday, just balancing out for most of the week. Had a balanced day yesterday, balanced day today. We look a little bullish today, actually, if we go to the SPY daily. If it closes like this, you still kind of have that best case scenario where you could be a inverse head and shoulders, right? Pop back up into like 442, break that into 447. Doesn't look too bad, but it has to hold this level here. You break this level and it's not looking too good. You break below 433 and hold below 433, most likely going to go down to like the mid 420s, low 420s. 422 would be the next monthly VWAP. Do I have a course? I don't have a course besides the one that you guys get when you sign up for the Discord. It's a course that I made back in 2018. But besides that, I just have the how to trade videos on YouTube. So if you go to my how to trade playlist, that is basically a course for the most part. So if you go through all those videos, you'll learn pretty much all you need to know about technical analysis. And then if you're looking for more of a one-on-one type thing or more of a community type thing, we have the Discord. So if you go to oasistrading.io/Discord, we have our Discord group. We post all of our live analysis, our live trades. We do a live, basically a chat room like we're doing right now, but we do this all day. So I'm in Discord from 9:30 in the morning all the way up into the close. And I'm calling out things that I see on my scanners. I'm calling out trades if I take them. I'm answering questions from you guys if you want me to look at charts, that sort of thing. Yeah, if you're looking to just like learn technical analysis, like I said, go to my How to Trade playlist on YouTube. It is a what is it, like 25 video playlist going over many different techniques that I use on stream, and that'll definitely help you out.
Nice little 15 ounce pack.
SPY can close above 436 today. It actually looks pretty decent. But as of right now, it's still kind of just balancing out, going sideways, slightly bullish. So the balance is got a small bullish imbalance, the POC being towards the high a day. Man, all these data stocks, they're all over my scanners today. Crowd, look at crowd, exploding. Massive day here, up 7%. Then you had D-Dog. D-Dog's up 7% as well. Then you had Net. That's also up 4%. These data stocks are just killing it. Then you have Snow. Snow's breaking out of a big level here, breaking the 325 level. We can stay above 325. Looks like it's going to get 344 pretty soon. Then we have another one that's not doing too good. I think this is more advertising, not data. Or is it insurance? I think it's insurance. Lemonade is another one that I'm keeping an eye on. If Lemonade can break this little downtrend here, it doesn't look too bad. Uranium stocks have been absolutely exploding. So CCJ, UUUU, URA, You got a couple of uranium names. They're all basically going straight up. I like this candle we're seeing on AMD. AMD has a nice little breakout today, getting back above the 50, back above the monthly VWAP. We do have a little bit of resistance on the next monthly VWAP around 110. But if we can get above 110, it looks pretty good, to be honest. DT, this is one that was on our watch list, I believe, last week. Dynatrace breaking out of all-time high here. You also have Upstart breaking into an all-time high. This company is just insane. Probably one of the best stocks of 2021. It's up 1,000%, and it only IPO'd at the end of 2020. This has to be, if not the biggest performer, it has to be like top 5 performers of 2021. Airbnb also waking up a little bit. If Airbnb can get above like 178, you could go on a nice little run. And then trip.com, I'm keeping an eye on trip.com here. If you can break the 200 EMA, this looks pretty good, to be honest.
Bitcoin's moving.
Yeah, we finally closed our Bitcoin trade. We had a trail at 55, so this little nasty sell-off that we had pulled back to close us. I am looking for another opportunity to go long again, but I do not want to long all the way up here on the high. Our next target is still 60,800, so we could see that pretty soon. It looks pretty strong, honestly. If it could stay above 55.8, sadly, it looks like we got faked out on our trail, but that's okay. We closed for a very big profit. Ethereum also looks really clean. This is a near textbook inverse head and shoulders. So if you're able to break above like 3650, 3700, Ethereum looks pretty damn strong. You'll probably get 4,000 very soon. We're still holding MGM. Got a really good entry before the upgrade. It does have a micro pullback coming in right now, which is very healthy. So if it closes like this, look for a breakout of $49, and then you should be getting a very good boost into like 50, 55. Big tech finally starting to wake up while the yields are dropping. We still have the yields going down, 10-year and 20-year. And you can see the big tech is finally starting to react, getting a little bit of a boost on most of these names. Facebook back above the 200. Amazon still climbing. Tesla still climbing. The dollar is getting a little weak here from the Fed minutes, pulling back on resistance a little bit. Small bear div kind of playing out. You can see the bear div on the Momo. Nice bulldog on Mara. Yeah, I'm sure the crypto stocks are doing pretty good. Yeah, it's reclaiming a 15-minute pivot. Looks pretty good. Bitcoin is showing a take profit signal on the daily. It's showing you that there is a little bit of resistance coming in here, but if you can break that signal, it is looking very bullish. How's Ethereum? Ethereum also put in a take profit. You have a resistance coming in, but if you can break above that level, you should be able to get 4,000, as I said, pretty easily. If you guys are in Discord, I posted a announcement in the tutoring channel. I did change my hours. It's going to make it a little bit more available to you guys. So instead of doing it 2 days a week, I'm doing it 4 days a week now. So Monday through Thursday, Monday and Wednesday, we have two 45-minute slots, and then Tuesday, Thursday, we have one 45-minute slot. So there's more slots available, more days available. They're just slightly smaller. I used to do an hour session, now they're 45 minutes. That should make it a little better for some of you guys. This morning I did mark out this little node, and I was saying that if we lost this node, there really wasn't a lot of support until you got all the way down to like 430. And we started to lose this node, and you sold off pretty rapidly down to 431. Then we came back for a bearish retest. This was looking very bad. Started to pull away from it, but then it got some buyers, and the buyers broke the node. And once we broke that node, it became support for the rest of the day. You had a little bit of a pullback here, but as long as you held above that node, it looked pretty good. So then we had the breakout on the Fed minutes, tapping that, what is that, value area low, or it's the value area high of the previous range. And then we sold off from that level. So we're kind of stuck between two major levels here, 436 and 433. And until one of those levels gives out, there's really no direction here. Let's look at some crypto. Take a look at some of the biggest gainers today. Humanscape doing pretty good. Had a daily buy, ripping off that 4-hour buy as well. Let's see, Perp is also doing pretty good. That one had a daily buy as well. DOT is in a weekly buy and a daily buy, so a lot of buy pressure on this one. Beautiful low time frame buy signals coming in as well. Dragon is getting a 4-hour buy. Daily and weekly are already in buys, so that's one to keep an eye on. KSM playing out a weekly, 4-hour buy coming in as well. Daily, not so much. So keep an eye on that daily. If the daily comes in, that could be pretty bullish. This looks pretty good. What is this? Waves. Weekly buy breaking out, daily buy breaking out. They can stay above like 31. That doesn't look too bad. Beautiful daily buy on Alchemex. Came in at 254. It's already at 380. That's a massive order. This looks pretty good. Badger coming off a beautiful little trend break. Weekly buy breaking resistance, daily buy breaking the trend. Low time frames are also in buy. That's a good one to keep an eye on. Badger. Ray looks decent. Ray's getting a 4-hour buy, no daily yet. If the daily can go into a buy, that looks pretty good because the weekly's already set up. So keep an eye on Ray. If it goes into a daily, looks pretty solid. That's it for now. Seems like IWM is continuing to look. I was going to say it's continuing to look better, but it doesn't really. This range on IWM has been absolutely ridiculous. You've been ranging for what? Nearly the entire year, 257 days on this range. 200 EMA catching up pretty rapidly. This 200 EMA could push us pretty high on IWM, and IWM typically leads. If the 200 EMA does push IWM up, you should get a nice follow through on the other indexes. We still have quite some range from the SPY 200. Got about 30 points, or excuse me, 20 points. USD JPY finally topping out a little bit here. Went on a pretty massive run recently. Getting a little bit of a tweezer top. Looks like the gold sector is starting to pick up a little bit. I think energy was finally getting a little toppy, but you had a nice recovery today. This recovery is pretty strong too. We're recovering the recent high. How does a firm look? We actually looked at a firm earlier today. It was on my scanners. It looked pretty good. Yeah, so that target that we called out way back, this was like weeks ago. You had that target around 140 for that gap fill play. That target has been hit. So now we're an all-time high. So as long as it can stay above that 140, looks pretty good. This is pretty extended though, so it could pull back below 140 pretty easily. Like even if you take the trend right here, which we haven't really fully established yet, you're still very extended. Definitely does look pretty strong, but a little extended. Bitcoin looks pretty strong here. The OTS trail pushing you up the entire day. Why does it always change my settings every day? Even when I set it as default. If we look at Bitcoin recently, if we just look at the entire range that we've been in for 2021, we have some pretty obvious nodes here. We have a node that we just broke through. So once we get above, like, say, 58,000, this becomes a lot of support. And there's really no resistance until you get to, like, 63. If we can get below, I'd say like 54, you do have a volume gap right here around 53. This could give you a very good entry if we like pull back and wick that area, which would also be the local or the recent high, right? And then we have a clear support around 47.6, 47.8, somewhere around there. That whole area right there is massive support. And then if we get below, I'd say 46,000, you have another major gap way down at 42. And that's kind of the gap that we played off of down here. So that gap has basically already been played. So right now you have like really two important levels. You have like where the node starts to fall off, which is pretty much the local high. And then you have the gap below you. It's around 53,000 and 58,000. If you can break above 58, you should have a fairly easy run all the way up to 60, 64. If you come back down to 53, if you bounce off that area, it could give you a very good entry. Something to definitely keep an eye on. You can see how important this level is on SPY. It's like 433 area. If we lose this area, you can free fall down to like 425 pretty easily. You can see this level that I had marked out on Ethereum right around 3670, or sorry, what is that? 3700, excuse me. Pretty strong volume gap. If we can break through that, you have a little bit of resistance around like 3925, and then break above, say, 4,000. There's really nothing above that. You could easily go into all-time high. And then if you go lower, there's really not any clear gaps. You got like little nodes around like 3,000, but then below that, there's really no nodes at all. There's no gaps. So it's kind of hard to pick levels below you as like key supports. Obviously, you have the big nodes around 3,200 and then like 23, 21, but those are very, very far away, right? So the better thing to do here is kind of break this up into smaller areas. So instead of looking at it as a whole, you could like break it up into little zones, kind of like what I did with Bitcoin. You could look at like the accumulation and then look at the other accumulation right here. And then if you wanted to, you could look at like the distribution up here. And then you would break it down piece by piece to kind of find your very important levels. So like this one down here, you have like 2,900. This one here, you have 34, which beautifully tested. You see that retest right here. This little pullback is kind of a retesting the POC of this accumulation. So this value is being retested. And then if we break out above like 37, we can zoom into this area right here, which the POC is right around 39.30, exactly where that level is. So that would be the obvious target if we break out. For now, it looks like ES is recovering the majority of this node. It gets back above like 43.70, looks a lot stronger. You can also look at the volume profile of this entire range that we've been in the past few days. You can see that we really need to get above like that 43.60 area to break out. Nice little support down here around 43.35. If we do break below this POC, start to go back into balancing, that'd be a nice little support to hold on to. Plug is just continuing to skyrocket here. You can see there's a massive gap from 30 to 32, building a nice little node up here. If you can break above like 33.70, this should be a pretty clean breakout. Very nice value being found up here. Yeah, look at the volume profile if we zoom out. So like we zoom out, you can see there's a clear node that we're kind of testing around this 34 to 32. But once you break above this, there's really nothing in your way. You can see all this area right here. There's not a whole lot of value that would cause you to fail. You have a little bit of resistance around like the 45 area, tiny bit around 53. The most of the resistance is going to be around like 64. So if you were playing a breakout trade here, you could play the breakout and then look for that push up to like 45, and that should be fairly easy. Tesla's getting some bids here. As I said, I think if Tesla can stay above 800, you get 825, 824 pretty easily. You need SPY to dump one more time so you can sell your puts. It's looking pretty good today, honestly. If it can close like this, it doesn't look too bad. One thing that is still worrying is we're still below the 200 EMA on SPY and on Qs. That's not the greatest. You see, these are all the biggest gainers on today. You got Task, INMD, not sure what that is. Plug's the third biggest. A lot of these names we don't really know. D-Dog's on there. Here's some call flow that's coming in today. Plug also coming in on the call scanner. Affirm's getting a decent amount, 186,000. JP Morgan getting 145. A lot of puts though. Delta Airlines also getting a lot of puts. OCGN, we were talking about this the other day. I was coming up on the volume scanner. Trying to move a little bit. Actually breaking out logarithmically. If you look at the log chart, it's a pretty clean breakout. If you guys like playing extremely high risk stocks, I'd keep an eye on that one. Definitely a breakout on the log chart, which is the kind of chart you would want to use because it's moved so much. People are people are giving a lot of shit to the Mechaverse NFTs on Twitter because a lot of them look exactly the same. Give me a sec. I'm gonna lower my desk. This orange line here is the 200 EMA on the 5-minute. Trying to reclaim it, but if we go to the 30 minutes, these are the ones you got to worry about. The 30-minute ones, let me hide all my other stuff. You can see here. These are pretty good at showing you which direction you're trending. So you can see like once it started to flip right around 450, we basically were just downtrending the entire time. So we need to flip this as soon as possible. Once that starts uptrending, you could start taking more risk, right? Same thing on Qs. Clearly downtrending, clearly rejecting price all the way down. This one started to shift right around 377. If you have the screen space, I recommend putting the SPY and Qs charts 30 minutes, kind of like how I have them, on another monitor, so you can kind of get an idea of like when you're uptrending or not. So like I have these on my other monitor. And it's just a 30-minute price chart with a 200 EMA. Looks decently bullish here if you can break above POC. Hey, Joe, I appreciate the $5 donation, man. I don't have my donation alerts set up, so it's not going to show on stream, but I do appreciate that. He said, you plan on bringing back your divergence indicator? So we brought it back. It's just currently in beta, and I haven't done too much updating to it recently because after we made that, I started building the bot, and I put all my focus on the bot since then. The bot is actually pretty much ready for launch. So we're going to be launching the bot this weekend. So after this weekend, I'm probably going to go back and do some more testing and stuff on the divergence indicator. But currently, you can get access to it. It's just part of the Momo. So if you order the Momo on the website, you get the Momo, you get the Momo shading, and you get the Momo divergence indicator. So like if I pull it up, it's this one right here. So this is the current version. It's in still in beta, right? We still have a lot of updating to do. It's still fairly new. But yeah, this is what it looks like. The blue dots are obviously warning you that a bull div is forming, and the orange is warning you that a bear div is forming. It's also slightly different code. So it's a slightly slower version of the Momo. So it's more trendy. So we wanted to make it kind of like a trending tool as well as a divergence tool. Yeah, right now you can get this by just signing up to the Momo. It's part of the same package. Once the bot is launched, which we're hoping for a Monday launch, I'm going to do a lot of work on it this weekend, get the website ready and stuff. And then once that's launched, we'll be focusing on keeping that updated and then working on our other products. Got about 13 minutes on the close. Couple of good things today. You have a little bit of an increase in value. So you have this big node forming on the high of towards the value area high of yesterday. POC is also towards the high. It'd be a lot better if it was actually outside of the value. So like if it was above, say, 435.50. But this is decent. It's showing you that you tried to go lower. The buyers did not accept that price, and now they are accepting the 434.90 area. So it's kind of showing you the buyers are accepting a higher price. We really want to see them get above 436, though. If we can start to find some value around 437.50, 437, somewhere around there, it would look pretty good. But for now, you're just balancing out 433, 436, rinse and repeat. Yeah, we talked about Bitcoin a few times this stream. It looks pretty bullish on the short time frames. It looks pretty bullish on the long time frames as well. I think as long as you hold on to 55.8, which is that POC that we targeted. As long as you hold on to that level, which you currently are beautifully, it's looking pretty bullish. Next target would be around 60,800. And the next support would be around 52.7. Notice how the 50 and the 200 are tightening up right here. We should have a pretty big move in the next day or two. I'd say by the end of the week. There's the breakout finally of the 200 EMA and the pivot that almost calls the high of day. The Momo is starting to signal a trend shift here too. The trend is starting to get pretty bullish. I'd like to see the short-term momentum get up to 20. We haven't had a 20 break for a long time. $50 is actually crossing the 200 here on Qs. It's a good sign so far. I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, but it's better than the past few closes we've had where it's sold off into the close. It's actually being bought up into the close. So we got about, what, 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left. I'd really like it if we can close above 436, but that's most likely not going to happen here. We only have one 5-minute candle left. But closing above 435, 50-ish, at least above this pivot, would be pretty good. Kind of putting in like a little bull flag here on the day. Put to call ratio going up a little bit on both sides. Hey Joe, I appreciate the $20, man. He said, last question, the built-in div indicator on TradingView sends alerts, but they are always 6 bars after the div has happened. Will yours send alerts in real time instead of 6 bars late? Sorry, which one? Are you talking about the one built into TradingView? Does six bars late? Yeah, mine should not be late. The one that we built, let me pull it up. It should send them the second one of these alerts close. So either one of the orange alerts or one of the blue alerts. The second it closes, it should send you the alert. So let's see if we have any forming right now. I might be able to show you live on stream, but it's gonna be a little difficult. So you can put bear or bull. So if we put bull, let's see if it will come in. We would have to have one forming. But if one forms here and then it closes, it will send it instantly. Obviously, this is on a 1-minute chart, so it's going to be pretty choppy. Yeah, that's one thing with almost pretty much all my indicators. I try to make them as fast as possible. Like, we don't want to have lag. Lag is a bad thing when you're trading, right? So with that in mind, we build all of our indicators to be as fast as they possibly can be while still providing reliable signals, right? We're not getting a bear div just yet, so it might not signal. We actually have one on the 3-minute here. Let me see if I can get it to signal on the 3-minute. So we have one forming right here. If this closes, it will signal the alert. So you'd have to wait 3 minutes, but that would signal the alert. All right, if it closes like that in 40 seconds, it should send the alert. If not, it's actually a bug that I need to work on. Closing pretty strong though, like I said on SPY. We want to see it close bullishly, obviously. The last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, you sold off into the close. That wasn't too good. There you go. Yeah. See how the alert went off? That one closed. It sends the alert immediately. All right, there's our close, guys. Pretty decent, honestly. Closing above monthly VWAP, above 43, 45 on ES, and then above 433 on SPY. This is the best case scenario. So you're playing out the best case scenario, which was the inverse head and shoulders. So if you can hold above this level, above 433.60, this could be the right shoulder, and you're going to get that push all the way up into 442. Okay. If we break below 433, you're probably going to get 430 very easily. And then 422 would not be out of question. That would be a pretty easy sell-off, to be honest. So we really do not want to see any price action below 433. And as long as we hold above 433, it looks pretty good. But all right, guys, I'm going to head out. Appreciate you guys being here as always. Make sure to hit that like button. I will be streaming tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, same time as always. If you guys are in the Discord, I will be posting the analysis pretty soon, so keep an eye on that. Also, if you guys are in the Discord, make sure to check out the tutoring channel. As I said, I did change my hours a little bit, so we added more days. So I'm going to be tutoring Monday through Thursday, and there are 2 45-minute slots on Monday and Wednesday, and then 1 45-minute slot on Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, so check that out. It'll be a little bit of a change, but it will give you guys some more days to get involved. But all right, guys, you guys have a good one. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.